I was born to my parents, Esmeralda Rodriguez and Philip Lopez in 1969, and right here in San Jose, California. From the beginning of my life, I had never seen my parents together. I didn't even know who my dad was for many years. I was bounced from home to home. I was bounced around, my whole life. I didn't have a steady home. When I was born, I was born addicted to heroin. I was given to my grandmother, Delfina Rodriguez, and my mom was already going to YA and stuff. My mother was a heroin addict for over 35 years. And my dad, from the time I was born, he was gone. He was already in prison. He was already going to YA. By the time he was 12 years old, he was strung out. He hit doing his thing. So I never really felt like who I belonged to. I didn't have that foundation of an identity. I knew I had family, who loved me, but I never really felt like I fit in there. And I started to recognize that I had to take care of myself at an early age. It wasn't, when I was a teenager, I already knew by the time I was 3 years old, that things were different. There was a lot of violence. There was a lot of no food. By the time, I was 9 years old, I was already, having to steal food from me and one of my baby sisters at that time. Feed her, bathe her, change her, protect her, So at an early age, I was already knowing that I had to take care of myself, and there was something different. I never felt like I had a chance to grow up and be who I was supposed to be, from my mom and my stepdad and even my uncles, right? They were showing me a lifestyle that demanded that you were a certain way. You couldn't feel certain things. You couldn't express your feelings. You had to suppress that fear or that sadness or that depression or whatever it may be, right? And it's the same thing with my dad. I got molded to believe it was my destiny. That's why I was born, to do the things I was doing, to end up in prison and to spend my rest of my life there or die out here. When I was living right here off of Checker Drive, first thing I started to do was smoke weed with my friend Kevin and Charles. And I used to run around with them. And we started doing bill runs. I started to drink, and then when I started, running around with my dad, I started to do, crank. Ended up going, to the ranch. I did a shooting when I was 13, and I am sending me to the ranch, and then, do YA, and then, prison. Obviously after that, the biggest addiction I had was the excitement of the gang lifestyle, the excitement of, selling the drugs and breaking into homes, doing home invasions. At a young age, we were doing all this stuff, and I got more addicted to that than I did to anything else. I always questioned, when people were dying around me, why not me? And I look back now and I can see that even through all the stuff that I was doing, he had something for me to do. And he was keeping me alive, through all the car wrecks, the shootings, the riots, everything that was happening, all the drug use, everything. He had planned for me. There was a time where I didn't have my parents. I never had seen them together. I never even seen a picture of them together. And then 35 years later, all of a sudden, God is bringing these two people together. They get clean, they unite, and now I have parents. Now I know what it is to have a mom and a dad. He's given me a wife, He's given me 5 children. He's given me 16 grandchildren. They call me dad. I get to love them. And through them, I learned how to be a man, how to be responsible, how to love. God opened the doors for me to be able to start an organization called, New Hope for Youth. I never thought I can have a job. I never thought I could do anything, but now I have a company. We have 30 plus employees. Me and my wife run it. I'm sitting in front of these judges and I'm going to the mayor's office. I'm talking to the gang task force that used to want to lock me up. These people are calling us now, and we're sitting in meetings with them, helping build policies. And he used all those life experiences. He's using it until this moment to help families, to help young men and women that are going through the same things that I went through. And it's really a blessing and an honor to be able to do it. My name is Philip Rodriguez, and I am undisputed.